Hello, this is News Now, reaching you live from iBrandTV News Studios in Lagos. Coming up, bandits kidnap Muhammad Idris, the Commissioner for Information, Niger State. Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigeria Supreme Court for Islamic Affairs declares August the 10th as the first day of Muharram. PDP caucus advises National Chairman Uche Secondus to honorably resign. Greece counts losses as it battles a week of devastating fires. Hello, thanks again for joining us. News Now. Here are stories making headlines. I am Michael Nath. The Nigerian Army says troops of 25 Task Force Brigade have successfully quelled a dawn attack attempted on Damboa town in Borno State. The attempted attack took place on Sunday. Army spokesman Onyema Nwachukwu said in a statement, Damboa is about 87 kilometers by road from Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. According to the Army, the criminals approached on foot and motorcycles but were forced to retreat after troops opened fire. However, 2 vehicles belonging to the Civilian Joint Task Force were razed by fire. The Army said it is currently on the trail of the fleeing terrorists. Bandits have kidnapped the Commissioner for Information in Niger State government, Muhammad Idris. This was confirmed by the state government on Monday in a statement through its Chief Press Secretary, Mary Noel Berger. The commissioner was said to have been kidnapped by bandits about 1 o'clock in the early hours of today from his home at Badban Tunga village in Tafa local government area of the state. According to the statements, security agencies are, however, already on the trail of the bandits. The Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigeria Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Muhammad Said Abubakar III, has declared August the 10th as the first day of Muharram 1443 AH. The declaration marks the Islamic New Year 1443 AH, commencing on Tuesday. Abubakar III made the declaration in a statement issued on Sunday by Professor Sambo Junaidu, the Chairman, Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council Sokoto. Abubakar III felicitated with the Nigerian Muslim Ummah on the New Year. The government of Oyo State has announced Tuesday, August the 10th, 2021 as public holiday to commemorate and celebrate the new Islamic calendar year, 1st Muharram, Hijra 1443 AH. This contained another circular letter from the Office of the Secretary of the State Government made available to newsmen in Ibadan. The circular, which was signed by the SSG Olubamiwo Adeosun, was titled Declaration of Work-Free Day to mark Hijra 1443 AH. Oyo, Kebbi, Jigawa, Katsina, and Osun are among other states that had declared August the 10th as public holiday to mark this year's Islamic New Year. Now, as the call for the breakup of the Nigeria continue to reverberate across some sections of the country, the governor of Kano State, Abdullahi Ganduje, has called on secessionists to embrace dialogue. Ganduje said this during the second public lecture on sustaining national unity organized by the news.
Assuming this country has gone to America or London and challenged British government, American government, German government, Chinese government on one illegal act done to a Nigerian who is not from the type of that president, we begin to command patriotism. Patriotism is not in the fear of the law, it's in the love of one's country. We've not been able to bring out the love out of them. I'm talking about meat. The meat I'm talking about. There's no time I wish I can explain this. So there must be this kind of love.
Let me repeat here that Nigeria is a united and indivisible country. Our constitution has taken care of that. I don't see secession as the way out of the current challenges afflicting our country. Instead, advocates of secession should have a change of heart, and I recommend dialogue as a crucial option for addressing such problems. Besides, there's a National Assembly where some of the grievances can be addressed, because dialogue is a far better alternative that costs less than consequences of the weight that has been erected to frustrate more flow of conversations between the government and the citizens to arrive at a national consensus.
We look at areas where we are having a lot of waste, where we are grossly inefficient. We make it more efficient. It's a matter of semantics. We call it restructuring. It doesn't imply breaking up our nation. No. And people who are agitating for a separate nation, I think that if Nigeria is made more efficient, nobody will find it convenient to say that it wants to go away. Nigeria is naturally endowed. We have a lot of endowment. All sections, all states in Nigeria have got something to offer.
A caucus of the People's Democratic Party at the House of Representatives have asked their party's national chairman, Uche Secondus, to honorably resign from his position. At the PDP National Secretariat on Monday, some party members also held placards calling for Secondus' resignation. The calls for Secondus' resignation came as PDP governors met in Abuja on Monday to discuss recent events that threaten the unity and existence of the party. At least 7 principal officers of the party have resigned from the party in recent weeks, although 2 later withdrew their resignation letters after meeting of the Board of Trustees. The PDP has also lost the governors of Ebonyi, Cross River and Zamfara to the All Progressives Congress. Now, according to the PDP House Caucus, who met virtually on Saturday, Secondus was more preoccupied with holding onto his position rather than preparing for next elections. They accused him of having no clear roadmap, blueprint or policy program for the PDP. The president of National Association of Nigerian Students, Sunday Ashefun, on Sunday expressed concern over the continuous closure of schools in the northern part of the country, especially Kaduna State, over insecurity following kidnapping activities of bandits. Ashefun reiterated call on the federal government to declare the students' kidnappers as terrorists, saying anyone with propensity to kidnap and kill students in large numbers should be declared as terrorists to any nation. The NAS president, who spoke in a chat with journalists in Ado-Ekiti, disclosed that the students' body had met with frontline Islamic cleric Sheikh Ahmed Gumi on the worrisome situation of kidnap and killing of students, and impressed on the Islamic scholar to tell the bandits when opportunity availed to stay off schools. He also said that NANS had resolved its factional crisis with the Abdul Majid Oyeni splinter group reunited with the main body, and affirmed loyalty to Ashefun-led national body in the interest of the over 41 million Nigerian students. Now, your State Commissioner for Police, Ngozi Onadeko, has awarded some police officers of the command some recommendations. CP Onadeko, while briefing journalists at the command headquarters Elele Ibado during the award presentation ceremony, said the award was to motivate men of the command for their numerous works.
Motivate my officers and men on the good work they've been doing, and I feel that by initiating this award, it will spur every other person to work hard. Not that the people that didn't get it are not hardworking, they are hardworking, but these ones are very outstanding, and at times members of the public, they call, saying this is what they are doing, like the traffic warden. The members of the public, they've called several times, they've written good things about him. So it was actually his case and the DPO Mapo that really spurred me. I said, let's find a way of encouraging them, motivating each and every one of us so that we could turn out better, we could secure and put in more efforts in discharging our duties to Oyo State.
As the strike embarked upon by resident doctors enters its fifth day, doctors at the Federal Medical Center or in Ondo State say industrial action will continue until their demands are met. The chairman of the Association of Resident Doctors FMC Owo branch noted that the federal government has failed to do the needful.
Officers, which are the youngest doctors in the cadre from the scheme of service, and this will further make them vulnerable. So we are saying no to this, and we are requesting for the withdrawal of this circular. Then also, the other reasons why we are on this strike includes some of our members in states like Ondo State, who are working with the Ondo State government, have been hold salary up to the tune of about 4 months now. In Imo State, about 18 months.
National Association of Resident Doctors strike, and we are 100% compliance as far as the resident doctors in Federal Medical Center was concerned.
All right, we're going to bring you African news at this juncture. Now, on Sunday, Tunisia launched a COVID-19 vaccination drive for the over 40s after receiving more than 6 million doses from abroad to combat surging infections. More than 300 centers across the country held an open day for vaccinations during large crowds. Tunisia, in the thick of political and economic crisis, has received more than 6 million doses from Western and Arab countries, and the same number of additional vaccines are on the way. President Kais Saied said on Thursday. Saied, who last month dismissed the government in part due to its alleged bungling of the COVID crisis and suspended parliament, has announced the establishment of a coronavirus crisis unit supervised by a high-level military official. Thousands of pro-government supporters in Ethiopia gathered in the capital Addis Ababa on Sunday to denounce rebels in the country's Tigray region. They rallied in Meskel Square in protest at what they see as foreign interference in Ethiopia's affairs. The government has come in for strong international criticism over the conflict in Tigray, which broke out last November. One banner at the rally called on the United States to reconsider its stance towards Ethiopia. The deputy mayor of Addis Ababa, Adenai Bebe, told protesters that the government had been chosen by the Ethiopian people. The Tigray war has killed thousands of people and pushed the area to the brink of famine. More than 60,000 people have also fled Tigray and taken refuge in Sudan. Foreign news now. Greek authorities have begun assessing the damage from wildfires that have devastated huge swathes of forests and forced thousands to flee from their homes over the past week as fires burned unabated in many parts of the country on Monday. The biggest front was on the island of Evia, east of the capital, which has so far forced the evacuation of dozens of villages and thousands of people, while flames engulfed forests and homes in the island's north. Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis was due to chair a ministerial meeting on Monday on relief measures for those who lost property in the fires. On Evia, Greece, a second largest island which lies just off the mainland, water-bombing aircraft struggled to operate because of the large fumes of smoke blanketing the area, authorities said. The fires broke out during Greece's worst heat wave in 3 decades last week, with searing temperatures and dry heat causing tinderbox conditions. Now, Afghan commandos launched a counterattack on Monday to try to beat back Taliban fighters who overran the northern city of Kunduz a day earlier, with residents fleeing the conflict describing the almost constant sound of gunfire and explosions. Kunduz was one of the at least 3 provincial capitals seized by the insurgents in the north over the weekend, as their offensive gathered following Washington's announcement it will end its military mission in Afghanistan by the end of August. A Taliban spokesman had warned the United States on Sunday against intervening following U.S. airstrikes to support beleaguered Afghan government forces. In the west, near the border with Iran, security officials told Reuters a heavy fighting was underway on the outskirts of Herat. Arif Jalali, Head of the Herat Zonal Hospital said 36 people had been killed and 220 others wounded in fighting over the past 11 days. You're watching news now from iBrandTV, Lagos. We'll take a break now, bring you sports afterwards. Stay with us.
Welcome to the sports update. I am Jidechi Chid-Ezie. Now, Lionel Messi is expected to arrive in the French capital on Monday, lured by limitless funds of Paris Saint-Germain, having said a tearful farewell to Barcelona after 21 years. The 34-year-old, seen by the French Giants' Qatari owner as the vital missing piece of their frustrating Champions League puzzle, has already had fans playing a guessing game. On Sunday night, dozens of PSG diehards gathered at the gates of the Le Bourget airport to the north of the capital in the hope of catching a glimpse of their newest Galactico. Before signing the contract in Paris, Messi will have to undergo a medical examination. Messi, widely considered as one of the most gifted players in the history of the game, won 35 titles at Barcelona after joining as a 13-year-old, including 4 Champions Leagues and 10 league titles, while his 672 goals are a record tally for the club. Meanwhile, Barcelona started life without Messi on Sunday with a 3-0 win over Juventus in a preseason Gampa trophy. Memphis Depay scored the opener, and Barcelona just 3 minutes after that had Martin Braithwaite adding a second goal just before the hour mark, before Ricky Puig scored the third in stoppage time. And on the local scene, Team Nigeria ended the just concluded Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games as the 74th best country in the competition, which was won by the United States. Nigeria won just 1 silver medal in wrestling and 1 bronze in the long jump to end the competition as Africa's 6th best team. Kenya's 4 gold medals, 4 silvers, and 2 bronze medals made the team the African #1 side, with South Africa 1 gold and 2 silver, Egypt 1 gold, 1 silver, 4 bronze, Tunisia 1 gold, 1 silver, Morocco 1 gold, placed 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th respectively. Overall, the United States ended the competition as the champions, following triumphs in basketball, volleyball, and track cycling. United States ended with 39 gold medals. And that's all for now on the sports updates. Back to you in the studios.
Thank you so much, Jidechi. Coming up next, business news. The landing cost of premium motor spirit petrol imported into the country has increased to a new high of 249.42 naira per litre on the back of high global crude oil prices. The further rise in the landing cost of petrol means increased subsidy as the pump price of the product remains steady at 162 to 165 naira per litre. Petrol subsidy, which was removed in March 2020, resurfaced earlier this year as the government has left the pump price of the product unchanged since December, despite the increase in global oil prices. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, which has been the sole importer of petrol into the country in recent years, has been bearing this subsidy cost since it resurfaced, while marketers have continued to stress the need to allow market forces to determine the pump price of petrol and do away with subsidy. It remains uncertain whether their discussion between the federal government and labor unions will lead to the deregulation of petrol prices. An analysis of the data showed that the landing cost of petrol rose to 249.42 naira per litre on July the 30th from 240.17 naira per litre as of June the 25th. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has advised the federal and state governments to liberalize the infrastructure sector by breaking government monopoly and scrutinize corporate assets via public offerings to attract investment. According to an official statement released on Sunday titled Practical Steps for Boosting Revenue and Foreign Exchange Inflows and signed by the Director General of the LCCI, Dr. Chinyere Alumana, the Chamber listed multiple recommendations to address the fiscal and financial challenges of the country, including the rising debt service, to review a revenue ratio and moribund assets generating no income for the country. It said the country's debt situation has become worrisome, with debt servicing consuming a significant share of the revenue. The debt service to revenue ratio for the period of January to May 2021 stood at about 98%, up from 83% recorded in 2020, according to the Budget Implementation Report. Experts have applauded the Federal Executive Council's approval of the acquisition of 20% minority stake by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation in Dangote Petroleum and Petrochemical Refinery. They made their reviews known in separate interviews on Thursday in Lagos. Timpre Silva, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, announced the approval after the virtual FEC meeting on Wednesday in Abuja. Silva said the acquisition was in the sum of $2.76 billion. Reacting to the development, Professor Chris Onalo, Registrar and Chief Executive Officer, Institute of Credit Administration, said oil and gas sector remains the major source of revenue for the government and requires massive investment. Onalo said the Dangote Group had taken the bull by the horns by making a huge investment that was needed to jumpstart the industry. He said the company needed the support of all and sundry, including the government. Onalo said the investment from the NNPC was to support the billions already committed by Dangote Group in the world's largest single twin refinery. Also, Mr. Muda Yusuf, an economist and the immediate past Director General of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry, said the Dangote refinery was strategic national importance. He said the refinery would also stimulate the economy in areas such as job creation, agriculture, and exportation of petrochemicals to other countries. Coming up next, entertainment news. Popular singer Davido has taken to social media to gush over his three kids, Made, Ahali, and Ifeanyi. In a recent post on his Instagram story, the proud father expressed how much joy and happiness having the kids in his life brings him. Davido has always made sure to be present for his children, regardless of work, location, or occasion. The femme crooner is a father to two daughters, 6-year-old Imade, 4-year-old Hele, and of course a son, Ifeanyi, whom will to turn 2 this year. Nigerian billionaire head and musician Florence Otedola, popularly known as DJ Kapi, recently gave fans an insight into her relationship with God. That's DJ Kapi revealed that it has been difficult being in the music industry as a Christian. She revealed this in a recent Instagram post where she admitted to not going to church as often as she would prefer. Kapi, who took a selfie outside a UK church, explained that the industry leaves her discouraged and she often has to go to God in prayer, seeking help or forgiveness. In her words, I don't go to church as often as I wanted, but it always puts the warmth back in my heart. Being a Christian in the cold music industry isn't easy. Remind yourself that God is with you and nothing can defeat him. Hashtag Sunday Service. And on that note, we wrap up News Now here from iBrandTV Lagos. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Michael Nath.